After a career spanning 7 decades, the man known as the Golden Tonsils, John Laws, has died.
I don't know what the next chapter is. I don't think much about it. And I've been able to make a living while having a terrific time. I'm a very, very fortunate man.
He leaves a remarkable legacy on the Australian radio landscape.
I've spoken to 9 Prime Ministers.
16.
I don't know that.
16.
16 Prime Ministers. I didn't know we'd had that many. I must have been asleep for a few.
John Laws really was a legend. We're going to hear from people who knew John Laws. The Daily Telegraph's entertainment editor, Jonathan Moran, had lunch with him just a short time before he died. Warren Brown, the Daily Telegraph's cartoonist, reveals that he received a letter from Laws, with Laws saying that he was a big fan of Warren's work.
Anything you'd like to say to everyone here today?
You make me feel very important, and I'm not.
JMO, John Laws, a career of 7 decades. What kind of impact did he have on Australia?
You cannot downplay the impact that John Laws had on the broadcast industry, because it wasn't just radio. It was music, it was film, it was television, and it was radio. It was books, it was poetry. He touched every element of the industry and was very well regarded.
Lawsy, a radio legend. I can guarantee many of the things I did on my radio program had their genesis in John Laws, because he was the best without peer.
He interviewed every Hollywood star that was either coming to town or thinking about coming to town, from Liberace to Tammy Wynette to Elton John, Diana Ross. They all went and spoke to him. The record labels knew that he was a passionate lover of entertainment.
The talkback thing is the big thing. Paul Keating said he's the man who really invented talkback. The laws changed. Suddenly they could put telephone calls on air.
Yeah.
And he's the one who picked up and ran with it. I mean, that's changed the landscape of radio, hasn't it?
Yeah, the radio stings, all of the people that are on radio today will tell you that they were influenced in some way, shape or form by John Laws, whether it's Kyle Sandilands or Ben Fordham, anyone on the ABC, all of the key players across the board, Jackie O, they will all tell you their stories about John Laws, because he literally had his fingers in every pie of radio, and they all basically wanted to emulate his success. So it cannot be downplayed, the impact that he had on the broader industry.
Now, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't know John Laws as well as many people. But one day, about 15 years ago, a letter turned up at my house. And it's this. It's a letter from John Laws, and its opening line is extraordinary. It says, "Dear Warren, what follows is unashamedly a fan letter." And he says, "I'm fascinated on almost a daily basis with your ability to relate words to a picture or a picture to words. I'm not quite sure which comes first." It's a beautiful letter, and it's written from the heart. And at the very end, he says, "I hope you continue to put a smile on the faces of many Australians for a long time to come. Sincerely, a fan, John Laws."
He never saw himself, though, as a journalist, did he? He said he's an entertainer and a salesman, and did that, let's talk about Valvoline and all those things. But did that lead to the cash for comment problems that he had?
Yeah, well, he didn't understand the issue with that, and he famously got awarded a Kennedy Award which is the top honour in the journalism space, for his contribution to the industry. But he did not understand why, to be honest, why he got that, because he said, "I'm not a journalist." He probably found it amusing. He was a man that knew the craft of selling, and he wasn't afraid to do that. He also knew the art of selling himself, and so he put on a show. Did he believe everything he put on his radio shows? I don't know.
It took some time before I actually sat down with John. I had the opportunity to do so. And he was fascinated with art and with cartooning. An extraordinary fella. Not only was he a titan in the world of radio, he was an actor and a singer and a poet. He did all sorts of things. And in some ways, just today I thought we have a bit of a similarity, even though I'm the full-time editorial cartoonist for the Daily Telegraph and Sunday Telegraph. I love to explore in other fields of creativity, and I think that helps to flesh out your whole world. And John had 90 years of that.
He and I came from different worlds, different generations, and probably very different worldviews. My experiences with John Laws were pure joy. He was a gentleman, he was lovely, he was, everything he said was with a bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He knew that he was provocative, he knew that he was, and he liked that because it meant that, you know, he wanted the show. He wanted people that sit on the fence with splinters on their bum, he wasn't interested in them. And that's why the listeners were engaged with him as well. They liked being yelled at by him. It was part of the show, part of the shtick.
So you had dinner with him? Or lunch?
I had lunch with him down at Otto, his favourite restaurant. We filmed and did an interview with him for our famous high stakes interviews that run in the Sunday Telegraph. And look, he's intimidating. He's tall, he's opinionated, he tells you what he thinks. If he's not comfortable, if he didn't want to sit there, he would tell you, I don't want to sit there, I want to sit there. And I keep hearing when I'm speaking to people today about how kind he was. He was very kind. He looked after his staff. I felt sad a little bit about a man that had lost his wife. He was with Caroline, his third wife, for 44 years.
But they met as teenagers and fell in love, and then 20 years apart.
And he reflected that in the evenings, it was in the evenings that he'd sit on the balcony, he'd have a drink, he'd love a drink, and that would be the hardest time of the day for him because he missed those moments with Caroline.
Princess.
His princess, and that was kind of sad, but also a man that just had a voracious hunger for knowledge and life, and he may not agree with everything I believed in and vice versa, but he was curious, and that was a beauty. That was a really beautiful thing. Now, Mr. Laws,
Call me John.
well, I feel like you're royalty. We've just had the King and Queen out here. You are Australian media royalty. I know you don't like a fuss, but you've contributed.
Well, I hope I have. It'd be terrible if I sat around doing all for 70 years.
Australia's lost a legend.
There will be no other John Laws ever. This was a man that embraced an industry at its peak, and he rode that wave, and he ran with it in a beautiful way. And so, no, there will absolutely never be another John Laws.
A terrific life, and I've had a terrific career, and I've got some terrific friends, and I've got a lovely family, half of which are out there.
King of Radio.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. You have treated with kindness your life, and treat with equal kindness the lives of any people that you happen to encounter. And I'm sure you'll do that. But in the meantime, what do? I say goodbye.
Vale John Laws, and as he said at the end of every one of his programs, be kind to each other.